A shocking report has come out of England Board of Cricket, where it has been found that English cricket is deep-rooted in sexism and racism. The report has collected around 4,000 testimonies of discrimination within the game. The report also found that there has been an inability from the ECB to prevent structural and institutional racism, sexism and class-based discrimination. Hi, I'm Gargi Raut and let's dive deeper into the bombshell report. The Independent Commission for Equity in Cricket, also known as the ICEC, has recently revealed a report that dug deeper into the ingrained discrimination in English cricket, following which the ECB has now apologized unreservedly to the victims of discrimination. The report was first scheduled to be released in September last year, but the findings have now sent shivers around the cricket community. The 370-page long report has stated that deeply rooted and widespread forms of structural and institutional racism continues to exist across the game. But this is not just about racism. As importantly, our work on gender and class also starkly highlights deeply rooted and widespread forms of structural and institutional racism, sexism and class-based discrimination across the game. The report also suggested that racism is normalized in English cricket and that authorities aren't to be trusted to take action. The report made it clear that racism in English cricket is not confined to a few people but is actually ingrained in the game. 87% of the respondents who gave their testimonies against discrimination in the past 5 years were from Pakistani and Bangladeshi heritage. 82% were from Indian heritage, while 75% were black cricketers. Apart from that, the report also found alarming evidence of sexism and discrimination against women cricketers. The report read, "Our evidence shows that women continue to be treated as subordinate to men within and at all levels of cricket. Women receive an embarrassingly small amount compared to men." The report also gave evidence of a widespread culture of sexism and misogyny and unacceptable behavior towards women. The report stated that women's teams are frequently demeaned, stereotyped and treated as second class, including misogynistic and derogatory comments about women and girls and everyday sexism. It concluded by proving prevalence of elitism and class-based discrimination in English cricket that prohibits the entry of young players into the sport. The ICEC also had 44 key recommendations for the ECB, a few of which were an overhaul of women's pay structure at international and domestic level, including equalization of international match fees immediately. The ECB committing to being an anti-racist and anti-sexist and anti-classist organization. Appointing an executive level chief equity, diversity and inclusion officer with a singular focus on equality, diversity and inclusion. And an in-depth examination into the decline in black communities and class barriers that exist in English cricket. The ICEC also recommended ECB to issue an essential apology, after which the ECB chairman Richard Thompson apologized in a letter to ICEC chair Cindy Butts. The letter by Richard Thompson read, "On behalf of the ECB and wider leadership of the game, I apologize unreservedly to anyone who has ever been excluded from cricket or made to feel like they don't belong." Powerful conclusions within the report also highlight that for too long women and black people were neglected. We are truly sorry for this. Following the apology, a consultation process is to be led by Deputy CEO Claire Connor. The Culture, Media and Sports Committee Chair Caroline Dinenage also released a statement that said that the evidences of racial discrimination, sexism and elitism were not acceptable and that the report must now be a catalyst for change. Not only domestic and international cricket, the report also found that discrimination seeped down to the school level, where private school goers were more likely to progress in the game as opposed to public school goers. The report has wreaked havoc throughout the cricket community. Discrimination in any form is unacceptable, but the findings of the ICEC report has revealed an existential problem in English cricket. That is it for today's video. Let me know what you think about the findings of the report. Like, share and subscribe to Sports Today, and don't forget to download the AajTak app.